All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for day number 22 of Donald Trump's hush money trial, where Judge Mercan has given his jury instructions, and you will not believe what is in them. But of course, we get to hear everything that is said today in the courtroom, thanks to our guy on the inside, Inner City Press, who is reporting from inside the courtroom and giving us a look that is everything that is going on, what the judge is saying, what the prosecution is saying, and of course, what Trump's defense is saying. So today may very well be the last day, day 22, may be the last day, because the jury is at this very moment deliberating. But before we get into the deliberations, I'm going to do a little bit of a catch-up from yesterday. This was Donald Trump leaving the courthouse yesterday after a long day of closing arguments. Remember, the prosecution, I believe, took 6 hours in total. It was absolutely insane. 6 hours in total. I was sitting there. Usually, I'm able to get the video because I've been covering this trial for the past, several weeks. I'm usually able to get the video of the transcript and everything out at least by 4 o'clock, maybe a little bit after. Yesterday, I wasn't able to get it out till like 7 my time. It was insane. The defense took 2.5 hours. The prosecution, they had to weave their really messy web to try to address everything that Stormy Daniels said, and especially Michael Cohen said, that liar. The liar, and pants on fire. The gloat, the G-L-O-T, the greatest liar of all time. Step aside, Tom Brady. You are the GOAT, but Michael Cohen is the gloat, greatest liar of all time. But this is Donald Trump, his motorcade leaving yesterday after court. And listen to the background. Listen to the crowd in the background. And let me know if you hear anything interesting. So it sounds like they're saying, we want Trump. Absolutely insane. So you're telling me that all these Americans, New Yorkers even, don't believe the BS? Don't believe the BS of the Democrats, the Biden administration, Judge Mercan, this Biden lawyer who is running the whole show, Matthew Colangelo? You're telling me that you guys are willing to risk the integrity of the entire justice system on this trial? And everyone, nobody believes it. I don't think even Democrats believe it. I think they just want it to be true. They want Donald Trump to be beat. So they want this trial to have a rigged outcome of guilty. But I don't know. I've flip-flopped back and forth between it's going to be guilty, it's going to be not guilty, it's going to be hung jury. And now I am discombobulated, guys. How's that for a $1,000 word? I am discombobulated. I don't know what the jury is going to say, because these jury instructions are absolutely insane. But also, we had Alina Abba, who came on Fox News, and she addressed the 5 hours. I guess it was 5 hours, okay? It wasn't 6 hours. It was 5 hours, probably 5 hours and some minutes, that the prosecution took. And she said, no evidence was given whatsoever. And this is what Alina Abba said.
Where is Alan Weisselberg? How did Michael Cohen get away with stealing $30,000? Hold a pity party for him. Made $4 million on this. Thought he'd be chief of staff. He's a fixer. Stormy Daniels. Let's hold a pity party for her. It's everywhere.
Trump legal spokesperson Alina Habba joins me now. Alina, so you were there. Closing arguments. Todd Blanche, Trump's defense counsel, went first. And then I guess the prosecution, did 5 hours?
Right. That's what you have to do when you haven't proven your case in trial. You plan that you have this great big break, and then you come up and you say, oh, guess what? I get to go do an argument. And in my entire argument, guess what, everybody? They don't get to rebut anything I say. So they took 4 hours to tell their story. I actually had to.
Yeah. 5 hours. And it was defense first, prosecution. And the prosecution was able to like curate their closing arguments to the defense's closing arguments. That's why it was so long. That's why they said, well, we got to respond to all these things that, you know, the defense is saying. So they literally drug it out. I think this is actually, I think it was actually a good thing, because I believe the prosecution using that tactic, I don't think they understand human nature. I don't think that these jurors really have an attention span that long to where they're going to remember every single little thing that happened within the trial. And by rehashing all these things and trying to come up with some sort of defense to them, the prosecution, you know, ironically has to come up with a defense to all this BS that Michael Cohen said. By rehashing all this stuff, it just put it back into the juror's mind. And they probably sounded very defensive. Like, well, what about, you know, Michael Cohen, yeah, he lied, but yeah, he stole, but yeah, he's a scumbag, but yeah, Stormy Daniels is disgusting, but yeah, she accused Donald Trump of having sex with her, but, you know, yeah, she lied on the news and she lied to Anderson Cooper, all these other people. But so I think this is, I think it was kind of a bad tactic for them to do that, because I think they would just sound defensive. But let's continue.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was insane.
Probably need a bathroom break. It's a very, very long closer.
Yeah, but
what was the point? Did they have a crime at the end of this?
No.
No, still they haven't named the crime.
They could not give us any evidence. It was a lot of noise, and that's what we keep seeing, Jesse. There was not one bit of evidence that showed that Donald Trump had an intent to commit any crime. And I'm still, as I sit here as an attorney, trying to understand how they could have possibly brought this at this point, wasted this much taxpayer dollars, past the statute of limitations, and then had the audacity to make a jury sit there until 8 o'clock with a bunch of nonsense and shiny balls, as she just said, right. Because that's all they've got. They've got
nonsense and shiny balls.
We're hearing from inside the court, and you can confirm this, every time defense raised an objection, overruled. Judge overrules every objection from the defense and sustains every objection from the prosecution.
Yeah, this is something I noticed throughout this entire trial early on. Before I started even really covering these Trump trials, I remember in the E. Jean Carroll case, there was a lot of talk about this. The judge curates these trials. This is like the biggest thing, I think. He's able to curate these trials through sustaining and overruling objections. So he allows the defense to, he allows the prosecution to make their arguments, you know, ad nauseum, whatever they want, just about. He might throw in a sustained for the defense every now and then just to make it look like he's being fair. But by overruling and sustaining certain objections, he's able to kind of create this, like, this semblance of a trial, when really he's doing everything he can to direct the jury to look at here. Like, hey, look at this over here. Look at this over here. Oh, no, don't look over here. Don't look over here. This is, you know, that objection is sustained. That's overruled. Don't look here, jury, but look over here where the prosecution is pointing.
Prosecution.
Yeah, I can't relate to that at all. It's unbelievable. I mean, you've seen it, and the way that the visceral reaction that this judge had when we had our one witness come up and he threw the press out, that kind of anger, that kind of TDS, frankly, we saw it with De Niro today. But that is what we're challenged with. We're dealing with people that are either going to believe a story. It was like sitting in make-believe land with the prosecution today, or you're going to listen to the facts. And the facts took us an hour and a half to break down. There were none. And you've got a person that is a complete liar that you're relying on. It was pretty simple for us. It took them a very long time to try and bob, weave, and make up stories.
You were there in the courtroom for almost every single day. You laid your eyes on the jury.
Yeah.
They're going to start deliberating tomorrow. I know we don't like to make predictions about this. You saw them absorb the closer this evening. Mm-hmm. We're going to get a result Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What are you feeling?
I don't feel like, first of all, we can call it a closer when it was 5 hours. It was more like a long movie that wouldn't end. But
right.
No, I think that, honestly, if they do the right thing, and considering that we're in New York, I think we should get a hung jury. But like any hung jury, the judge is going to give them an Allen charge. He's going to tell you to go back, restudy everything. You're the jury that can do this. So maybe 3 days max. I mean, I'd hope so. It, to me, should be an acquittal.
Right.
But I'm not a New York liberal person sitting.
Thank God you're not. All right. Well, maybe by the end of the week, we could get some sort of verdict. Thank you so much, Alina Habba.
Thank you.
And that was Alina Habba, and doing great work as usual. She's been through all this. I mean, she's been Donald Trump's lawyer. She knows how these New York judges and this New York justice system is. It's very, very, very critical. But before we go any further, guys, let's hear from you guys. You guys like my new little setup? You know, I like reading the chat, so I had to set up like a certain page, like a certain view just for the chat. So who do we have in the chat? Oh, we got Michelle. Michelle is in the chat. My moderator, who is always there. Thank you for moderating, Michelle. And she says the judge separated the jury into 3 groups of 4. Yes, we are going to talk about that today. It's what's going on here. It's like a banana republic kangaroo court. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It reminds me of when during, I guess, COVID. It reminds me of COVID. When I would refuse to wear the mask, okay? I'm a pretty principled guy, generally. I don't like people telling me what to do. I can be kind of a contrary person sometimes, to my detriment a lot of times, but, you know, to my benefit sometimes. And I wouldn't wear a mask. So I remember I was a consultant at the time. I was traveling all over the United States. I was in many, many states in the heart of COVID-19. It was like the time of my life where I traveled the most, ironically. And I just started seeing, you know, in these states, mask mandates popping up. And I refused. I outright refused. I'd walk into restaurants. I'd walk into grocery stores, you know, department stores without mask. And I knew every single time I walked into a place, a gas station, what have you, there was a possibility that I would be thrown out. And so it was kind of nerve-wracking every single time I pulled up to anywhere, you know, what's going to happen. It was kind of anxiety ridden, but I felt like a stranger in my own country. And depending on what this jury decides, I feel like it's going to have echoes of that. I'm going to feel like a stranger, like, wait, what kind of justice system do we have? I'm 33 years old. For the past 33 years, has my entire life been a lie? I've always supported the justice system, thought it was the best aspect of America. You know, politics is dirty, but the justice system certainly gets it right? But no, I don't know. It's gonna depend. Hey, we got Joseph Collins in the chat, sending me a $2 super chat. Thanks, Joseph. I really appreciate it. You guys definitely. You don't have to send super chats, but they are much appreciated. Okay, guys, they are much appreciated. We got 252 people watching. If you could please smash that like button, I would really appreciate it. And if you don't, you guys know, if you don't, Michelle, you better watch out, because Michelle, the lady with the little wrench by her name, she will find you. What was that movie? Oh, shoot, I forgot. The movie where he's, well, I will find you. I have a special set of skills. That's like Michelle, okay? You better be careful, because she's crazy, okay? Who else? We got Copter Tech 52. Like and share on Woke Thoughts. Yes, please do. Please do. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, guys. I never thought I'd be to even above 10,000 or even above really 5,000. But by the grace of God, somehow I'm there. Okay. We'll come back to the chat, guys. But let's go to, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys probably saw some of this. So it looks like, this was the De Niro press conference that he did with, Joe Biden, right? The Biden-Harris-De Niro campaign. Biden-Harris, De Niro. It should be like Biden-Harris-De Niro campaign. The whole press conference with special guests. So that's the special guests. And this is the flyer or whatever. I don't know. It says today, Tuesday, May 27th, whatever. But of course, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this already, but we'll just recap, because this stream is kind of half like reading the transcript of what went on in court today, but I also kind of want to extend it a little bit, just in case by some possibility the jury comes back with their verdict, which I don't expect to happen today, but, you know, we'll stream for a while and see what we can do. So we'll recap yesterday. Of course, we have little guy Robert De Niro with a mask on. Is he double masked there? I mean, come on, these guys. Oh man, he's such a tough guy in movies. He's such a tough guy in movies, but in his press conference, he was like shaking with absolute fear.
Really, even these people.
You look right here.
It's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just. I mean, this is really.
Yeah, he should. Donald Trump should be telling his supporters not to do this.
Kind of crazy.
And I made the point in my other video, hey, well, Joe Biden should be telling the New York justice system not to do this, but he won't because he's behind it. He's behind it. They always like, hey, look over here. Look what's going on over here. Isn't this so terrible what is happening over here? These people yelling at me to go F myself and all these other things. When Joe Biden, who is literally the president of the United States, well, his administration at least, is
really crazy, and this
going after Donald Trump, who is polling, like is obliterating Joe Biden in the polls as we speak, as he's on trial for 34 felony counts. He is destroying Joe Biden in the polls. And you know, they can't handle that. So they've got to go full commie. They got to go full communist and try to throw him in jail. It's crazy. And this is this individual right here, this dude. He is one of Joe Biden's like communications directors. I've seen him on CNN a lot. This guy. But anyways, yeah, so that was some of the De Niro
Any media questions?
Press conference. And a little bit more from the De Niro situation. This was a supporter, or the protester, who yelled at De Niro that his movies suck. And you know what? I agree. I will not be watching. I'm boycotting Robert De Niro in his dumb movies. I'm not going to do it anymore. You know, I've not playing games anymore. Robert De Niro, you're on the blacklist from Unwoke Thoughts, and I expect my followers, do the same. This is a war, guys. This is a war. These people, we cannot allow them into the space. But here's De Niro facing protesters.
Democrats, you are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up. Fuck you. You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done after this guy, guys. You're done. Don't start lying on us, Democrats, you are gangsters.
So very strong words from protesters who are not very happy with Robert De Niro coming out doing propaganda for the Biden administration. And, you know, it's what's going on right now, guys. They've got to bring out old, tired actors in order to try to drum up any support. And it's like, what are they even doing? Like De Niro, I remember him from like movies from way back when. Yeah, he's kind of still a star, but he's a fading star, right? He's not anyone, I believe, of consequence who anyone really cares about. Maybe, you know, some people from that generation might still care about, but do they really care about his opinion? Like, are people not able to compartmentalize? Like, hey, this is an actor. I might like his movies, but do I like his politics? Like, it's amazing how dumb the Democrats think their supporters are. It's crazy. And I know the Republicans do this as well, but, you know, they don't rely on it, right? They don't rely on actors. It just so happens every now and then an actor pops up and says, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm voting for Donald Trump. It's not like their main thing that they rely on. And when I say actors, I also say that those J6 people that were with De Niro and the posse, I think they're actors as well. Like, those people are crazy. Kind of pivoting toward today. So that was yesterday, of course. And now we are current now. This is today. President Trump en route to the Biden trial. This was posted by Caroline Levitt. This is his motorcade arriving, driving down the highway, driving down the freeway. I wonder how much it costs just to drive down the highway in New York anymore. Probably a lot of money in tolls. It's probably pretty crazy. So that's Donald Trump arriving in court or driving down the road. This is him. Another driving shot. His motorcade going through, what is that, Manhattan? I don't know. I'm not really super familiar with New York. I've been there, once or twice. Look at the size of that motorcade. Crazy. Crazy. Still people, still supporters outside. We love Trump. Must have been pretty early in the morning. I know I believe they started an hour later today. Usually they start at 9 o'clock, but today they started at 10 o'clock. So that was his motorcade. And this clip as well, I thought this was pretty funny. It was Ben Bergquam. Is that how you say his last name? Bergquam? I think that's how you say his last name. Ben Bergquam of Real America's Voice. He ambushed Ann Reed. He ambushed Ann Reed. You guys know Ann Reed? You guys know who that is? Yeah, the person, was she MSNBC, right? I think that's who she is. MSNBC Ann Reed. And I don't know. Have you guys noticed that her hair kind of started to have this evolution happen? You know, it's really odd what was going on. And it seemed really familiar, her hair. Look at her hair here. Like, what is going on with her hair? Does it look familiar to you? What is going on with Ann Reed? But yeah, Ben from Real America's Voice decided to call Ann Reed out on this. And hilarity ensued.
Joey, just wondering, do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut or did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation.
You're an idiot.
Right there. She didn't like that too much. Joy Reid, everybody. Trump derangement syndrome.
Joy Reid. Did I say Ann Reid? That's what I was reading my note here. For some reason, I wrote Ann Reid down. Yeah, that's why you don't just put 100% faith in your notes. But I wrote Ann Reid. Okay, I'm over here looking at the notifications on my phone, making sure I don't miss some sort of jury verdict. But yeah.
Drew Giuliani, we got Cassandra heading in, and my brother David Zier in the house. And
David,
how you doing?
So we got lots of people there right now. Bated breath.
And second question.
1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I lost my chat. So that's what we have going on right now, guys, with Ben. He ambushed Joy Reid of MSNBC. I believe that's her. And let's see what else we got here, guys. I'm just trying to I aggregated a bunch of clips and stuff to show you guys because we're just kind of bumping around, just hanging out. CNN. You know, have you guys noticed that MSNBC is worse than CNN? CNN used to be the worst, I believe. Back in 2016, Trump years, CNN was the one everyone pointed to for being just absolutely crazy. CNN, they're not as bad as they used to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still a liberal, disgusting hellhole, but they're not as bad as they previously were. I think MSNBC has taken that slapped. Maybe it had something to do with CNN going bankrupt and losing their headquarters in Atlanta. Maybe that's what happened there. But CNN they admit the Trump train is moving faster than ever. And also, I mean, we all knew this already, but they say Americans don't really care if Trump is found guilty. Because why? It's not because we support him so much. if he were like to do something really, really bad, it wasn't effective. No, because we know that this is a sham, that this is a figment of Democrats' imagination that the Biden administration is trying to conjure up through some magic spells in the courtroom with Judge Mercan and Matthew Colangelo and Alvin Bragg, who's barely ever even there. He lets his DA office be taken over, and all he is a figurehead, kind of like Letitia James, but we won't go there. But it's because Americans don't believe this is real, and it's like these news agencies are like, whoa, why do Americans still support Donald Trump? I just don't know why. It's because Americans have gained this BS meter that is so sensitive that they can't get away with anything remotely like this anymore. But this is what went on CNN today.
At this particular point, that Trump train that's been moving faster than it's ever moved before in a general election doesn't show any signs of slowing down, despite the criminal indictments against him, despite the fact that this case in New York is now going to the jury, John. At this particular
so Americans, they just don't care. And the mainstream media, the MSM, the corporate press, they just don't know. They just don't understand why that is. What is going on? Also, we had Don Jr. this morning giving a press conference. It was a great press conference. I got the short version. I thought I had the longer version. Okay, here's Don Jr.
But the fact that they are holding a rally across the seat from this very witch hunt, right across the street, tells us exactly what we all knew all along, that it is a political persecution. It is a...
Oh, no. Sorry, guys. That's the wrong clip. I thought I got the one from today. This is from yesterday. You guys probably already saw this. But let's skip ahead on that. We have Trump. This should be from today. Trump addressing the media as the jury begins to deliberate in the New York hush money trial. And he says that Mother Teresa could not even beat these charges. And you're going to see here in a second, guys, why that is. It's because of how the jury instructions are written. It's crazy. Like I said, the judge, all he has to do is, he can curate this trial through certain powers that he has. Jury instructions, overruling or sustaining objections, not granting witnesses to come in for certain sides, the prosecution or the defense, and not allowing evidence to come in. It's insanity what is going on right now. But this is Donald Trump prior to walking into court today for the jury instructions. And this is what he had to say.
Thank you very much. I would say, in listening to the charges from the judge, who's, as you know, very conflicted and corrupt, because of the confliction, very, very corrupt. Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections, and you have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. He's got to do his job. And it's not for me, that I can tell you. It's a disgrace. And I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. It's a very disgraceful situation. Every single legal scholar and expert said this is no case. It shouldn't be brought, and it certainly could have been brought 7 years ago, not in the middle of a presidential election. It was all done by Joe Biden. This judge contributed to Joe Biden, and far worse than that, but I'm not allowed to talk about it because I have a gag order. Far worse than that, by 1,000 times worse than that. The worst I've ever heard, but I can't talk about it. It'll be talked about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. But it'll be talked about in the history books. What's happening here is weaponization at a level that nobody's seen before, ever. And it shouldn't be allowed to happen. So I'll stay around here. This is 5 weeks. And 5 weeks of really essentially not campaigning, although I took a big lead in the polls over the last few weeks. Something's going on. because I think the people of this country see that this is a rigged deal.
MAGA team, no, this is from this morning. This is not an old stream. This is from this morning.
Political opponent. For Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States. He's destroying our country. He's letting millions of people from jails, from prisons, from insane asylums, from mental institutions, drug dealers pour in. Venezuela, if you look at their crime statistics, they've gone down 72% in crime because they're releasing all their criminals into our country because of this horrible president that we have. And then they have a protest of Robert De Niro yesterday. He's a fool. He's a broken down fool standing out there. And he got maggot. He got maggot yesterday.
He got maggot.
But I just want to say it's a very unfair trial. It should have never happened. If it was going to happen, it should have happened 7 years ago. As you know, Bragg didn't want to bring it. The Southern District didn't bring it. The FEC didn't bring it. This judge didn't even let us use the #1 election attorney. He's making the rules. He doesn't know anything about elections. He doesn't know anything about voting and vote counts. He doesn't know anything about this stuff. That's not his profession. We had the leading election expert in the country, Brad Smith, ready to testify. Wouldn't let him do it. They wouldn't let another gentleman who represented, and you know very well, you saw it. It was the worst I think I've ever seen anyone treated on the stand. Bob Costello wouldn't let him talk about all of the hundreds of emails that he was sent by another gentleman who I can't mention because I'm gagged. Every time I speak to you, you ask me simple questions. I'm not allowed to give you the answer because I'm gagged by this judge. But we have a very, very serious problem here. I mean, our country's going bad. And remember, and let me just leave you with this. This is all because of Joe Biden and I don't even think it's him. I don't think he's smart enough to think about it. But it's the people that surround him in the office. They're smart. They're fascist, they're communists, but they're smart. And they're ruining our country. But we're going to win this election. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. We're going to take back our country from these fascists and these thugs that are destroying us with inflation and with everything they do, how stupid they are, allowing 15, 16, 17 million people into our country, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. We're going to bring back our nation November 5th. Remember, most important day in the history of our country. In the meantime, this trial is rigged. Thank you.
In the meantime, this trial is rigged. And I think one of the things he said there, it was like, these Democrats, the people who are running this, they're smart. Like people, they are. They are. But so are like psychopaths and sociopaths. These people, they're smart, but they're evil. And that's a dangerous combination. They don't care if they manipulate the justice system. They don't care if they destroy society. They don't care if, half the people in the United States are completely alienated, wondering what the heck is going on in our country when we have a judge who can be completely captured and go after the political opponent of the one who is in the White House right now, the one who is in power in our country right now. They don't care about any of that. They have only one goal, and that is to try to win. That is what they're trying. Reminds me of AI. It kind of reminds me of AI, and maybe they're utilizing AI in this. Artificial intelligence, they don't take into account human emotions or anything. They get a goal. They get like this command. Okay, this is your command, and they find any way they can get and achieve that goal, no matter what. It kind of reminds me of these rabid dogs on the left. It's crazy, because they don't seem to care what they're doing to the country. They don't seem to care. Maybe that's their end goal, is to try to turn this into a communist country. The total chaos. I mean, I really don't know. But that was Donald Trump, and that was today speaking outside the courthouse. It's rigged. He says it's rigged. Of course it's rigged. He talked about Judge Mercan, and he talked about his conflict, but he's not able to go any further than that because he's gagged. Absolutely insane. He's gagged. He cannot talk about the conflict that Judge Mercan has, and most of you probably know what it is. You guys know about Judge Mercan's daughter, who runs what is that? What is her company called? I'm sure Authentic Campaigns. Authentic Campaigns. Let's look this up. Authentic. Here it is. Authentic.org. This is the company that she runs right here. And they do fundraisers for Democrats, and she's used this company, Authentic Campaigns, to run all these campaigns. She raises money. She raised money for herself, for Democrats, and she's used the Trump trial to raise money. She does like social media outreach. She does, it's like advertising and, stuff like that. Soliciting donations for Democrats. But like, look at all these people. Look at all these organizations she's worked with. They're all leftist, far leftist, Soros types. National Immigration Law Center. Congresswoman Lauren Wood. This is Judge Mercan's daughter. This is like her company. And she's used her dad's trial to raise money for this company. Authentic Campaigns. Vote.org. Brennan Center for Justice. Look at this one. You guys recognize this one right here? Guys recognize this young gentleman right here? That definitely doesn't look like he stumbles downstairs. President Joe Biden. Yeah. He utilizes her services. This is the daughter of the guy who is trying to put Trump in jail, Judge Mercan, who he is not allowed to talk about, by the way, or he gets thrown in jail. It's insanity. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, my governor right here, Michigan. Yeah. My governor. Yeah. Insane. NILC, Immigration Justice Fund. Katie Hobbs. Yep. We all know what happened with Katie Hobbs. United Nations Population Fund. This is Judge Mercan's daughter right here. But they don't care. They don't care. They have one goal in mind, and that is to win, of course. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, we have JD Vance who came out and he attended the court. He attended court with Donald Trump and his posse. This was a few days ago. And I heard some kind of good news, or a good rumor, I should say. Apparently, one of the jurors, when JD Vance was attending the courthouse or the courtroom with Donald Trump, attending court, was visually excited to see JD Vance. Of course, this is all conjecture. I don't know if this is true. So that might be good news. But JD Vance, of course, I don't know how much he's actually gone into the courthouse and observed the trial with Trump, but he has been there at least one day that I know of. And he went on Fox News and he had some criticisms of what was going on there.
We have faith in it. But we've got to be honest about how biased this thing has been from the beginning. The admission of evidence that is bad for Donald Trump, the refusal to allow evidence that's good for Donald Trump. I think you've heard it from many sources, Democrat and Republican, that this judge has committed a lot of reversible error. So how can we have faith in the prosecution, in the presiding judge, when the guy is screwing up left and right in a way that only hurts Donald Trump? So I do have some faith in the jury. I hope that they do the right thing. But that doesn't change my view that the judge has really mishandled this case, and so is the prosecution team. But we've got to be honest about how biased this thing has been from the.
So that was JD Vance, who was criticizing what was going on in the courthouse. And I got a super chat up here. Let's see, can I find it? Oh, we got that one, and I think the other one was right down here. Here we go. Selah says, thank you for following this so closely. Much appreciated. Well, Selah, thank you for your super chat. That's much appreciated. I really appreciate that. All right. What else do we have going on here? Let's look here. We also have, this was kind of funny. Let me go back to this view right here. Apparently, check this out. Apparently, CNN has a jury deliberation countdown clock. Yeah, this is just a photo. This is not a video. They have a countdown clock, and what does this remind you of, guys? Remember the COVID death count, the COVID death counter or whatever? Yeah, like this stuff literally just this is what they live for. Like, you offer a CNN or mainstream media MSNBC host the opportunity to eat or to have a Trump trial, they will choose the Trump trial, even if it means the death of them. They don't, this is what they live for. This is like drugs for them. And they have a jury deliberation countdown clock. It's absolutely hilarious. Guys, we're going to get into the jury instructions here in a second. I just want to cover the rest of these. I kind of want to drag this on for a little bit because I do want to give a chance, just in case by a crazy coincidence that the jury comes out with a verdict while I'm live. That'd be insane. So I'm not trying to like rush anything here, but I will be reading what went on in the courtroom today just in a second. Also, we have a CNN analyst saying that Bragg's team fell way short on getting Trump. I think it's funny that they always talk about Bragg. Like Bragg, he wasn't even involved in this. He just is the one that like rubber stamped, the lawyers to, bring this case against Trump. I don't think he argued one word in the case. And I saw he also has barely even been there. He just allows his office to be hosted by parasites. He's like a host for parasites of the Biden administration, his offices. But this is what the CNN analyst said.
After listening to all of this, do you think they fell short? How?
They fell way short because let's start with reasonable doubt. What is reasonable doubt? And it's not simply a doubt based upon reason. Anytime a human being needs to make an important decision in life, if you have enough information, for example, doctor says you need open heart surgery. Doc, go ahead and schedule. I don't have a reasonable doubt. Conversely, if I say, I appreciate it, but I need a second opinion, I need more information, that is having a reasonable doubt. There is reasonable doubt all over this case. Where is Keith Schiller? Where is Alan Weisselberg? How did Michael Cohen get away with stealing $30,000? Hold a pity party for him. Made $4 million on this. Thought he'd be chief of staff. He's a fixer. If the plumber comes to my house to fix my leak, I could be home. That doesn't mean I know how he's doing it and what it's taking to be fixed. Stormy Daniels, let's hold a pity party for her. Why do we need to know whether or not the former president wore a condom or not? It's simply about, did the former president know that books, his records, false entries for legal fees, Michael Cohen was his lawyer. Did he intend to cover up the election or to protect his family? It's everywhere.
When Randy gets to whisper tones, I start getting concerned.
Yeah, so reasonable doubt all over this case. Yeah, I mean, there was reasonable doubt before this even came up, before the trial even started. Everyone's like wondering, like, why? What's going on here? Because this was passed up for multiple years. This was passed up. Plus, it's 8 years later, and their bottom crime is a misdemeanor that's outside of the statute of limitations. So, they were like twisting themselves up in knots trying to find out some theory how they could sell it to a jury. And it just was very hodgepodge. And they still never really mentioned a second crime, technically. They said something about this is illegal in the state of New York. But it's like, this was a federal election. This is not a state election. So what are you guys even talking about? Like, what, New York prosecutors, they have jurisdiction now over federal elections? It just doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't pass the smell test. It doesn't make any sense. That's because there is no sense of it. Then we had a few, TDSers that went on CNN. Tom Malinowski, he is a stain on the Polish name. I myself have some Polish blood in me. He's got the SKI. I mean, come on, this guy. What are you doing, dude? You're supposed to be smart. But he went on CNN and he was whining about Trump attacking law enforcement. Oh no. Why would Trump defend himself over these senseless justice system attacks from the president and let everyone know that, hey, this doesn't make sense. This is crazy. This is crazy what is going on. But no, it's him. It's him that's attacking them. It's like ultimate level gaslighting that is going on. It's an information war. This is what this is. we live in an age where everything is information warfare. And a lot of people, you know, they just want to live their lives. They just want to go to work and have a family and, you know, go to the park and go on vacation. They don't want to work for the information that they get. They want to go on their phone, flip on their phone and read CNN or watch CNN, flip on their TV, watch MSNBC and be like, oh, okay, this happened today. And they're being bombarded with this straight up propaganda. I went on a rant, guys. I digress. We were supposed to watch this video. What happened to me? Okay, this was Tom Malinowski.
Wanting to see the Biden campaign play fire with fire. I mean, every day practically of this trial, Trump's surrogates have been outside saying really outlandish things in some cases about this trial. They're just there to take up some oxygen, to do what the candidate cannot do. But, I mean, to Essie's point, is that might feel good, you know, from a cathartic perspective, but is that really the right political strategy?
Well, there's an argument that needs to be made, and let's get back to these police officers and the way in which they were treated. The whole argument that Trump is making, and that he has brought most of the Republican Party along in making, is that we need to discredit and denounce law enforcement in America, calling FBI agents dirty, filthy cops, promising to pardon the convicted felons who almost killed those police officers that day, almost killed me and my colleagues. Campaigning on rally stages with rappers who have been prosecuted for murder. This is a guy who is...
Oh, the pearl clutching is hilarious.
That's something that I do think the Biden campaign does need to get out. I think they will. I think it's something that makes a lot of...
Oh, he campaigned. He's got rappers. He's got rappers on the stage in the Bronx. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. It's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, when the powerful regime comes after you, you're not even allowed to defend yourself. You're not even allowed to hey, guys, look what the FBI is doing. Look what the CIA, look what the intelligence community is doing. Look how they are using their massive powers. Look, you can't even say that. And if you do, you are smeared. You are smeared by the likes of this guy. Like they are apologists for the regime. Total propaganda. This like I said, we live in an information war and it's absolutely crazy. Like this stuff, it's pure evil, guys. It's not a game. It's really not. It's not a game. I laugh at it sometimes because it's so obvious, but it really is not a game what's going on because these people, they will stop at nothing. They will absolutely stop at nothing to stay in power. And you know what they say? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And they are merging on absolute power. They're doing everything that they can to gain absolute power. But speaking of powerful people, Donald Trump, hold on. We've got, see if I can do this here. For some reason, his True Social always, oh, there we go. We got it. Got like a weird format to it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Donald Trump, we've got some truths from him. I should have saved the individual posts. So he made some posts. I was reading some and I just linked to his True Social. I should have linked to the individual posts. We'll just read a few of these and guys, we'll go into the transcript for today. Trump said, I don't even know what the charges are in this rigged case. Look at, yeah. I am entitled to I knew I was going to mangle that word. I am entitled to specificity. Just like anyone else, there is no crime. It's funny because, you know, the media is like, oh, Donald Trump, he can't have, you know, we can't treat him differently. We can't treat him special. You know, he is just because he was an ex-president. Yeah, he is being treated special, but the other way around. He's got a corrupt judge and he's got a Biden prosecutor who's going after him. A Biden/Obama prosecutor, Matthew Colangelo. You guys are going to look it up. I did a video on this. He's a Biden/Obama DOJ guy. Yeah, and nobody talks about it. There might be an article buried somewhere. Did we play this one? Or did I miss this one? Did I already? Weaponization. You know, well, let's play this one because I don't know if we played this one yet.
And the unfairness of this, Harris, is not just in the four corners of the case. You know, it's peculiar, as you point out, that former President Trump can't speak about the witnesses, can't speak about various things connected to the case, but other witnesses in the case are not gagged. But the other thing, and this is what I think is the arrogance of the way the courts have approached their task with these four indictments against the former president who is running for election in November. There are things in life and things in America that are more important than the administration of justice in a single case. And one of them is the right of the American people to have robust debate in connection with an election for the most important office, not just in the country, but in the world. And we have a situation where President Trump is the only person who's gagged. So Joe Biden can say whatever he wants about the president's travails. Other opponents of former President Trump can say whatever they want. And he's the guy who's in the middle of the vortex, and he can't say anything. That has consequences not just for the administration of justice in this trial, but for how we run our campaigns.
It's not just that he can't talk. And he said, you know,
absolutely insane. So yeah, he cannot talk. He is the one in this trial. He's the one all the charges are going after, but he can't talk. Biden, his political opponent, can talk. Michael Cohen could run his, pants on fire mouth all he wants. Stormy Daniels, yeah, no problem. Anyone can talk about Trump. But Trump can't talk. It's like, I wonder why. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man, the myth, the legend in the house, Veteran Bleicher. And he says, please arrest Trump. He will win every state and Canada. Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? At the one hand, it's kind of like what happened when Trump kept violating the gag order. I wanted Judge Mercan to arrest him because I knew that would be insane. That would turn that would be like a shockwave throughout the country, throughout the world even. Wait a second. America? The United States, the land of the free, the home of the brave? This is what they're doing? They just arrested someone that's running for president, an ex-president, while Matthew Colangelo, a ex-Biden DOJ, ex-Obama person, was going after him, prosecuting him, and this happened in America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. It would really wake up a lot of people and pull the wool off of their eyes as to what is happening here. But thanks, Veteran Biker. Thank you for that super chat. Good friend of mine, Veteran Biker, doing great things. The guy is exploding right now. His content is just absolutely incredible, guys. If you have some time today, go. Most of you are probably actually already subscribed to him, so I can't. But if you're not subscribed to Veteran Biker, the guy he's great. He's got some big guests coming up, actually. Border Patrol agent coming on his show pretty soon. And, just insane big things going on with Veteran Biker. Let's go back. Let's go back to this. And then after this, guys, I promise we will be reading the transcript of what happened.
I took a big
with the jury instructions today.
Amazingly, he's done quite well not talking about this case. He doesn't have to. Everybody else is, to the chagrin of one man, President Biden. So he sent his campaign surrogates out yesterday. Robert De Niro, another octogenarian who, was struggling, but whatever. He goes outside the courthouse and then begins to battle for President Biden and trying to soak up some of that limelight. Andy, it is amazing when you look at how politically tinged this entire process is, and we are still sitting here now waiting for a jury to deliberate.
Yeah, and here's the amazing thing, Harris. This is the trial because it's a state trial that I think Biden would have been able to say that, all this stuff Trump is saying about how I'm in control of everything, that's a state thing. I don't have anything to do with it. He sends his surrogates here, which basically puts his mark on it. But the other thing I want people to understand is that if in any other context in the United States, if a local state prosecutor were trying to enforce federal law, the Justice Department would be papering the state courts and the local federal court with all kinds of motions to try to prevent that from happening. The Biden Justice Department is perfectly content to have Alvin Bragg enforcing federal law as long as it's against President Trump. But he's not enforcing it in a way that is consistent with what the Federal Election Commission and the Justice Department would normally do. And I don't think the Justice Department would countenance this in any situation other than a prosecution of Trump.
Andy McCarthy always
absolutely insane. Like he is saying, the Biden administration is perfectly okay with Alvin Bragg, and it's not really Alvin Bragg. It's just his office. It's just like, guys, these people that occupy these positions, it's not even them. It's just an office. Like this vague term like Biden. We always talk about, oh, Biden's such a terrible president, but it really is not even Biden. It's his administration and whoever the heck is pulling the levers back. But Alvin Bragg, he's not even running this stuff. He's not even running the show here. It's just like someone else. Specifically in this case is, the Matthew Colangelo. But let's pivot here without any further ado, guys. Hold on a second. I might read some chat here first, but let me bring this up. Let me bring up the transcript, and I've got to zoom in. Okay, got to zoom in here. All right, there we go. Bring up the transcript. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I've got 422 people watching right now. Wow, don't you guys have anything else better to do with your Wednesday? Why are you guys watching me? Come on. If you're going to watch me, at least hit the like button. Jeez. Veteran Biker with another $9.99 super chat. Come on, man. You're breaking breaking your bank with me, bro. Come on. It says salute to Unwoke, y'all. Hit that like button and sub button. This channel's on point. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I have being in the YouTube community, it's nice to have friends kind of in our circle that you can just kind of bounce ideas off of. And Veteran Biker is one of those guys. I talk to him very often. Ben, George, Lou Valentino. I mean, those guys are just the best. And doing something like this, you've got to have people to be like, hey, man, what's up? What's going on? Because it's not always easy doing this. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's just nothing going on in the news. We got Jeremy Brummer in the chat. Jeremy, my man, Jeremy Brummer. Love that guy. Thank you for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. Manuel Gonzalez says, my day off, I hit the like. Hey, thank you, Manuel. I really appreciate that. Like I said, if you're going to be watching, at least throw me a bone, because, YouTube doesn't really like conservative streamers very much. So we always whine about, hey, we got to get likes because the algorithm tries to suppress us because they don't like our message. So, what else? D Gillis says Bragg gets the big bucks and name on the door, so he takes the fall in the end. Yeah, exactly. They can use these offices. I look at it like the office is the host that the parasite occupies. Like the Biden administration and his cronies occupy the Alvin Bragg DA's office like a parasite attaching to a host, and then they are able to go after Trump that way. Because Alvin Bragg didn't really even want to have anything to do with this when he became DA. It wasn't him that said that he wanted to go after Trump, believe it or not. So it's hard for me to direct my vitriol at Alvin Bragg other than the fact that he actually is allowing these people to use his office as, in an unethical way. Michelle says, nope, nothing till Bible study tonight. Bible study, very important. Thanks, Michelle. We got Bookmark, who's in the chat. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. I had heard that before. His middle name is Robinette, but I didn't even know until just like a few months ago that was his actual middle name. I didn't know that. Rebecca Hoover says, I hit that like and thank you for all you do. Much appreciated. Hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And we have Token the chat with a $10 super chat. I mean, come on, guys. If you guys keep doing this, I'm going to be like, I'm going to be able to buy McDonald's even after Biden inflated everything. So if you guys keep sending super chats, I get to eat a Big Mac for $175. It's going to be insane. Manuel Gonzalez says, loves your show. Benny Johnson, veteran biker, and you, great American heroes. Thank you. All right, guys. Should I get into the transcript, the jury the jury instructions? Should I get into that? Smash that like button. Let's see. What should I put? Put a number 1 in the chat if you say yes. Should I get into the jury instructions or should I read more chat? I don't want to end this stream too soon. Let me check on my phone. I don't think. Hold on a second. Let's do live. Like I've got CNN live updates here. Let's see what's new first. Okay, how about this? Let's see what's new, and then I'll get into the thing. Okay, now the jury in Donald Trump's hush money trial is deliberating on a verdict after receiving instructions from the judge on the law and duty. Okay, so nothing really new. So we will get into. Okay, we will get into the main show here, guys. Okay, hold on. For those of you, where is it? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never done this live. So guys, you guys get to see all of my mistakes in HD. I can't edit this anymore. I'm going to be exposed. I'm exposed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go back into the courtroom where we are going to be looking at the jury instructions. What happened? Judge Mercan. Make sure we're at the top here. Okay, Inner City Press reporting. Yeah, guys, if you guys have a chance, check out Inner City Press. He does great work. I try to shout him out at the beginning of my videos, every video, because he's doing all the legwork over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back into the courtroom. All rise. The clerk says this is the people of the state of New York against Donald J. Trump. Judge Mercan, he says, you were both shown the verdict sheets. The prosecution says, we noted on an admission on page 40 for the 34th count, it should say the check number. Mercan says, okay. Whatever you say, prosecution, I love you. You're the best. In fact, why don't you just come up here and do the rulings for me? Okay, just kidding. Judge Mercan says, get the jury, please. The jury enters. And Judge Mercan addresses the jury and he says, I will now instruct you on the law. You will not receive copies. I can read them back to you. So interesting. The jury is not going to be receiving copies. Wow. I can read them back to you. If you have come to believe that I have an opinion on this case or of this case, put it out of your mind. So listen, if you think I have an opinion of this case, no, put it out of your mind. In your deliberations, you may not speculate about matters related to sentencing. If there is a verdict of guilty, it will be my responsibility to impose sentence. Testimony which was stricken for the record must be disregarded by you. If you wake up and it is not raining, so this is, I guess, kind of an analogy that Judge Mercan is reading to the jury. He says, if you wake up and it is not raining, but the street is wet, you may draw the inference that it rained overnight. On redactions, you may not draw any conclusion about why it is redacted or what is redacted. Here are some of the limiting instructions I gave you. And one of these is that AMI entered a conciliation agreement and a non-prosecution agreement. You may not consider that as evidence that the defendant committed a crime. Mercan continues, some exhibits were admitted with a limiting instructions. If you have any questions, just send me a note. He's probably just waiting by his phone. Anything you guys need. Just if you have a question, let me know and I'll tell you to find him guilty. So he's just like, he's probably got like a bed in his office, like a sleeping bag, or he's hunched over his telephone, his cell phone, just waiting for a jury to call him with a question so he could skew it. But if you have any questions, just send me a note. Whatever your verdict may be, it may not rest on speculation or bias. You must decide if witnesses testified truthfully or not. And you may ask, did the witness have a conscious bias? He's probably referring to Michael Cohen right now. Did the witness have a conscious bias? You may consider it. You may consider if a witness had or did not have a motive to lie. You may consider if a witness had or did not have a motive to lie. You are not required to reject the testimony of an interested witness. So the one that comes to mind is Michael Cohen. He's an interested witness, and the judge he wants to make it very clear to the jury, hey, I know that Michael Cohen is a liar. He makes, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars off of Trump. He makes his podcast that he does on TikTok. He made $400,000 off of that podcast on TikTok. Yeah. That's a lot of McDonald's right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty crazy. But even though he's an interested witness and he's a liar, he's the gloat, the greatest liar of all time, even though he's that, you are not required to reject the testimony of an interested witness. All right? But Mercan, he continues, under our law, Michael Cohen is an accomplice. A defendant may not be convicted on the testimony of an accomplice unless it is corroborated by other evidence. The offense is falsifying business records in the first degree, 34 counts. 34 counts of falsifying business records. Every time Michael Cohen sent in the invoice, every time they paid it, that's all a count. It's like, what? He sends the invoice, it's a count. He pays the invoice, or Trump organization pays the invoice, it's a count. Was there another one? I don't know. There was just like all stacked up to 34 counts. I had a sheet of it before where it explained it all. But Mercan continues, he's under our law, a person is guilty of this. Okay. Under our law, a person is guilty of this when the intent to with the intent to defraud, with the intent to commit. Okay, hold on. I got to restart this one. Sometimes this stuff is written kind of weird. Under our law, a person is guilty of this when, with intent to defraud, with the intent to commit another crime, that person causes the entry of a false business record. Intent means conscious, objective, or purposefully. So Donald Trump had to be conscious of this. It had to be on purpose. And for those of you who have followed this trial, they got nothing. Let me tell you, the prosecution has nothing that Donald Trump even knew this was happening. All they have is the word of Michael Cohen, the gloat, the greatest liar of all time. That's all they have. It's insane. Even CNN, some contributors on MSNBC, they come on, they say like, hey, I'm sorry to say, but it's pretty shaky. And that's MSNBC saying it's pretty shaky when they absolutely have nothing. So it has to be conscious, objective, or on purpose. So Donald Trump has to know like this is going on, but did he? That's what the jury has to figure out. The first of the people's theories of unlawful means is federal elections law. So that we're getting into the law. So New York now, has jurisdiction over federal elections law. Insane. Including as to the office of the president of the U.S. under FECA, a corporation may not make a contribution to a candidate or an expenditure in concert with a candidate. The first of the people's theories of unlawful means is federal election law. Wait a second. This is brought in state court. What What? This is brought in state court. So this should be handled by the feds. Why is this not handled by the feds? Because it was passed up. It was passed up by the feds. I don't understand how they could even do this. But if the payment would have been made absent the candidacy, it should not be treated as a contribution. There is an exemption for legitimate press functions. The second of the people's theories of unlawful means is to falsify other business records. You may consider, for example, the 1099 issued to Michael Cohen and his other paperwork. The third theory is violation of tax law. So these are all theories. They're very nebulous. These are theories. They may have happened. Hey, pick one of these theories, jury. Which one do you want? Which one sounds the most appetizing to you? Pick one. The third theory is violation of tax law, even if it does not result in any underpayment of taxes. We start with the invoice of Michael Cohen in February of 2017. There are 33 other counts. The only difference is that each count concerns a different business record, possibly a different date. 34. The 34th count pertains to December 5th of 2017. Section 17-152 of New York election law concerns promoting or preventing. Okay. If you find the people have proven the elements beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find the defendant guilty. Motive is the reason why the person chooses to engage in criminal conduct. Motive is not an element of the charges or the crimes charged. Your verdict must be unanimous, it says. You must deliberate, discuss, consult, reason together. When considering the evidence, you should not hesitate to change your vote if you are convinced. Some took notes, they are only for you. So if you took notes, that's only for you yourself. Everyone else has to has to go off these jury instructions. If you want testimony read back, ask me. Okay? And hold on a second, guys. It looks like we have a update. Hold on. Judge Mercan says we received a note. So let's see if we'll come back to this, guys, because see if CNN. This was on Twitter just now. What did... All right, hold on a second. Let's go to Twitter. Let's see if there's anything happening on Twitter here. So I had from Adam Clansfield. He said, Judge Mercan, good afternoon. We received a note. Prosecutors have re-entered the courtroom, followed by Trump et al. A minute later. So this was just a few minutes ago, guys. So maybe we have a verdict. Look at that. Maybe we have a verdict. Smash that like button, guys. If we have a verdict, this is insane. Okay? I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to be watching this, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to be going back to this. We're going to be watching this, okay? Where were we? If you want testimony read back, ask me. Stricken testimony will not be read back. Under our law, the first juror selected is the foreperson who transmits notes to the court. And I believe the guy who is the foreperson is the one who put in his jury questionnaire that he reads True Social. So, good news, maybe? Maybe good news? When there is a verdict, the jurors will come back here. So apparently we have a live, let's see. Let's go back to this. It keeps saying I have a notification here. Oh, here it is. Okay, you know, CNN, what are you doing here? Can we just... Okay. Oh, this is where the live feed is. Okay, we received the note. No. 3 hours and 45 minutes. That's their ticker right now. 3 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. We'll be watching this. Smash that like button, guys. If we get a verdict live, come on. That'd be insane. Hey, we got Willie in the chat. He says, Trump, Trump, Trump. Thanks for watching, Willie. I really appreciate it. All right, who else we got in the chat? Jeremy Brummer. Don't forget to hit that like button. The more shares and likes and comments helps break YouTube algorithms and forces YouTube to push this video out. Amen, brother. Exactly. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back into the courtroom. We can finish this out. I'm watching, seeing if there's anything going on. Don't worry, guys. I will not miss it. Trust me, I will not miss it. I should change the title of this. Jury verdict live. Should I change that right now? I feel like I should. I feel like, you know what? I'm going to change the title of this live stream right now. Okay, guys? Give me a second. You know, it might be kind of clickbait, but it might not be clickbait. It's speculation. I think it would be kind of cool if the jury comes back with a verdict live. Hold on, I'm doing this on the other screen, guys. I'm coming back. Just give me a second. I'm just going to change it, guys, in real time. IRL. Jury verdict out. Guys, is that too much? Is that too much clickbait? Should I or should I not? I feel kind of bad for it because I don't know if the verdict is actually out. You know what? I'm just going to do it. Whatever. I just did. Okay, guys. Okay. You guys okayed it. Okay. It was not me. You guys okayed it. Let me take a sip of Diet Coke. All right. We're going to continue this. We got another update. The note contains 4 requests. This is update. Judge Mercan says he will bring the jury plus the alternates in to hear the requested testimony again. So I guess a jury came back with a request. Oh no, now everyone's blaming me clickbait. Listen, guys, I didn't know. I thought they came out with a verdict. Come on. Be easy on me, all right? I'm just a lowly streamer trying to get views. Come on, guys. All right. So apparently it was a juror. The note has 4 requests. Thanks you, Mr. Jan Reb. Yeah. Jan's Reb. No, the note has 4 requests. Yes, exactly. So it's a juror wanting requests. Has 4 requests. Okay. Holly says such lies. Are you referring to me? Okay. When I put that up there, I didn't know it was a lie, okay? That's my justification. I'm sorry, okay? All right, well, we'll continue. This is Judge Mercan reading the jury's instructions. Everyone's yelling at me clickbait. I know it was clickbait. I thought it was real though. But I can't, I got to continue the show. The show must go on. All right, we're going to continue the jury instructions. If you want testimony read back, ask me. So that's what happened that we just saw live. A juror requested some testimony from Judge Mercan. Of course, Judge Mercan, he likes to maintain a lockhold on this case. He's not, nothing is out of his control. All the way down to the individual jurors wanting to request testimony so that they can remember something. Stricken testimony will not be read back. Under our law, the first jury is selected as a 4-person. When there is a verdict, the jurors will come back here. Okay, I will give you a verdict sheet. Continuing. While you are deliberating, you will be kept together in the jury room. Lunch will be provided. Give your cell phone to the court officers while you are deliberating. So nobody in the jury is watching this live stream, unfortunately. So we are not allowed to be in the jury room. That foreperson who watched True Social, who read True Social, he very well may be an Unwoke Thoughts fan, but he cannot reach the stream right now, so I could tell him what he needs to do because he doesn't have a cell phone. But the plan is to work today to 4:30 p.m. So they're going to work till 4:30, even though this is like I feel like this is the easiest verdict ever. Come on. But how many of those jurors have Trump derangement syndrome? I don't know. Probably 95% of them. Judge Mercan says that concludes my instructions. Counsel, please approach. They have a sidebar. Judge Mercan says, just don't put your name on the notes, just the number. He says, wait, I have one more question for counsel. And then they have another sidebar. Just throwing out these sidebars left and right. You get a sidebar. You get a sidebar. Everyone gets a sidebar. Juror, there's a laptop with the evidence on it. Jurors, there's a laptop with the evidence on it, so they have a laptop there. They probably have it bugged, too. They probably have the laptop bugged so they can listen. Like, wait, what's going on in there? Judge Mercan is in his office with headphones on, listening to everything that is happening in the jury room. Oh, are they going to quit him? Oh, no. I've got to throw in something else. I've got to add something to the jury instructions. But jurors, there's a laptop with the evidence on it. Jurors 4 and 6, you will be shown how to operate it. So I wonder if jurors 4 and 6 are African American. Because you guys do remember Kathy Hochul said that African Americans don't know what a laptop is. So apparently that's the thing. Maybe Judge Mercan's like, all right, jurors 4 and 6, I see that you're African American. You will be shown how to operate a laptop. Because that's oh my gosh. It's just too funny. These people are crazy. Kathy Hochul said that, guys. Okay. Step out with the 6 alternatives stepping to the side. He continues, he's talking to the alternates now. He says, every one of you was very engaged. Alternate 3. You went through 3 notebooks, I think. Good job. We are not releasing you yet. You may be needed just in case one of the other jurors decides that they want to hold out and try to hang the jury. We will be bringing you back possibly. I wonder if they can swap out alternates like that. I don't know. Hand in your cell phones. Follow the court officers. Judge Mercan says, let's bring in jurors 4 and 6 who volunteered for the laptop. Bring them in to show them how to operate it. Mr. Blanche, has your client consented to sending the laptop back? And Blanche says yes. And Judge Mercan says, do not leave the courthouse. You need to get here quickly if we receive a note. And, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the jury instructions would happen. But we're not done yet, guys. Because I also have the jury instructions from another perspective from Jonathan Turley. If I can find it here. One second. Scrolling through my notes. Here we are, right here. Jonathan Turley. He was there for the jury instructions as well. And he added his 2 cents. So let's take a look at what he had to say real quick, guys. So, same thing, basically. But Jonathan Turley is a legal mind, you know, so I like to hear what other people have to say as well. But Jonathan Turley says, I am back in the courtroom for the instructions. So let's see what Jonathan Turley's interpretation of these instructions were as they happened. He says, this judge has stated that he wants to stay close to the standard instructions. The problem with that is that this case is anything but standard. True. This sets precedence right here. Insane precedence. No, this has never happened before. We will be looking for some of the outstanding issues, particularly in the standard of proof for key elements like unlawful means. What is this? Okay, that's just making sure that wasn't like a link or something. Yesterday was chilling as the judge allowed the prosecutors to engage in what some of us view as highly improper arguments. Yeah, they outright, in their closing arguments, they outright accused Donald Trump of FEC violations. And the crazy part about that is that the defense couldn't bring in their expert witness to say, hey, actually, no, these were not FEC violations. The judge said, no, you can't bring that guy in. He was like the FEC commissioner or something like that. The judge nixed it. So the judge allowed the prosecutors to engage in what some view as highly improper arguments. That included effectively testifying on facts not in the record. Mercan's view of, quote, argument was considerably broader for the prosecution than the defense. For the prosecutors making objections, the strike zone seemed like it stretched from dugout to dugout. They're saying, like, this is a massive strike zone. This was like the strike zone for the prosecutors was like the size of Big Fanny's fanny. Guys, I'm just saying. It was the size of Big Fanny's fanny. That's how big the strike zone for the prosecutors is. Yesterday. During closing arguments. But for the defense, it was the size of a postage stamp. So we got the big fanny on one end. It's like the biggest thing in the world, right? That's like, you can see that from space. And then you have a postage stamp for the defense. Like, that's how he restricted the prosecution versus the defense. The defense had like just incredible amounts of leeway. They could talk about whatever they want. Literally whatever they want, just about they can talk. And when the defense would object, the judge would overrule. When I read that transcript yesterday, every single objection from the defense was overruled, while the prosecution was giving their closing arguments, or just about. And then for the defense, when they gave their closing arguments first, every single objection from the prosecution was sustained. Remember I said this is how the judge curates the trial, curates a decision, including allowing or not allowing witnesses in, allowing or not allowing evidence to come in, allowing or not allowing the defense to subpoena certain documents and people and evidence. This is how he's able to curate all this stuff. And I'm not a legal mind by any stretch of the imagination. But I do feel like I have some common sense. I don't think you have to be really smart to see like this judge is way out of line. So yeah, we got the strike zone, dugout to dugout for the prosecution, allowed to argue anything. But for the defense, it was really tiny. It was like the smallest, most microscopic atom. That was for the defense. They had to stay within those constraints. But Judge Mercan is now instructing the jury. So he must have been writing that while he was waiting for Judge Mercan to start. So now we have Jonathan Turley who is starting. Okay, Judge Mercan now instructing the jury. He has ruled that the jury will not be given copies of the instructions, but can ask for them to be read to them again. Yeah, we heard that. Judge Mercan is giving the standard instruction that they can reach inferences based on facts, such as inferring that it rained from seeing people in raincoats. Yeah. It is a rather quaint instruction after Mercan allowed the prosecutors to state as a fact. So this is what I was saying yesterday during closing arguments. Mercan allowed the prosecution to state as a fact that FEC violations occurred. This is towards the end. Literally said, and I think I have it. let me go back. Let's see if there's any update. Let me go back to CNN really quick. I don't want to miss anything for you guys. So that's all they have. They received a note. But I'm going to go to, hold on, let me show you where it was, guys. So this is my Twitter. So this is what happened. Prosecutor Steinglass said right here, they committed FEC violations. Trump's lawyer Blanche said, objection, Your Honor. And Judge Mercan said overruled. So they are literally allowed to say that Trump committed FEC violations. Like how? And they're not allowed to defend themselves by bringing in an expert to counteract this. This is how rigged this is. They're not even able to bring in an expert. And every time they try to refute this, the judge just sustains an objection from the prosecution. Guys, when I say this is a banana republic, kangaroo court, I 100% mean it. It actually is. When you hear these people on YouTube, these law tubers, like shake their head and like discuss what's going on, they are not just doing that because they are Trump fans. No, they are doing this because they actually believe that this is insane. A lot of people are like, oh, you're just polarized. You just are a big Trump fan. And you don't want to see the real truth. You're biased. No, you don't have to be biased to see this BS, guys. It's right in front of you. And it sucks that we're not able to get a camera in the courtroom where we can watch this in real time. That's why I've chosen to read the transcript. Other people have chosen to read the transcript. I still watch Robert Guevara. I read the transcript and I go watch Robert Guevara because I think he has fantastic commentary on it. But I just think some stuff needs to be covered as much as possible. So yeah, he allowed the prosecutors to state as a fact that federal election violations occurred. As a fact. Not maybe they occurred. You saw what it said right here. Prosecutor Steinglass, they committed FEC violations, objection overruled. When previously, Judge Mercan, this was like before the start of the closing arguments, Judge Mercan says, I remind you, stay away from the law in your closing. So he told the prosecution and the defense to stay away from the law. And then Steinglass comes up with a law. Hey, they committed violations, FEC violations. Well, what happened to staying away from the law? And Blanche was like, objection, he's trying to say that this was a violation. Why? Overruled. Sorry, you don't get to talk. Okay, so in this case, there is no such violation in this case. But Judge Mercan did nothing to correct the erroneous impression. In fact, he overruled an objection. He did the opposite. He not only did he not correct it, he stepped in to make sure it was allowed because the defense objected. So that's going like a step further than not just correcting it. It's crazy. There is no such violation as crazy. Okay, to carry forward the analogy, Steinglass was just yelling at the jury that there was not brutal. Steinglass, okay, this is funny. Steinglass was yelling at the jury that there was a virtual hurricane on a perfectly sunny day, but the judge remained entirely silent. What? I don't understand that, but the idea or the image of Steinglass yelling at the jury about a hurricane kind of reminds me of like De Niro just like freaking out and shaking in his boots about Donald Trump. And who else was it? James Comey freaking out and just shaking in his boots because Donald Trump might become president. He might gut the intelligence agencies and just remove all the corruption from them. Like, it's so funny. Like when Trump, like this heightened case of Trump derangement syndrome, when it takes over somebody, they go absolutely bonkers, guys. They go just, it's like level 1 panic mode. And they start talking about virtual hurricanes on a sunny day. Like, what does that even mean, dude? Like, what? You're supposed to be like a really smart, super smart prosecutor from New York, and you can't even come up with any sort of crime against Donald Trump, even though the taxpayers had spent $1 million for the DA's office to prosecute this case. Like, where's the smoking gun? There's none. And while this scene was going on, the judge remained entirely silent. Mercan also instructed that they may consider the interests of the witness in the outcome of the case. That they may consider the interest. Yeah, so Michael Cohen. That's the biggest one. One of the least convincing parts of the closing arguments of the prosecution was the claim that Michael Cohen was attacking Trump and selling merchandise to feed his family. Steinglass portrayed Cohen as struggling in his luxury multi-million-dollar condo while making millions. It was a far cry from pushing a food cart down Broadway to support his family. Yeah. He's not struggling. So that was Jonathan Turley giving us his context. That was what was going on there. All right, let's see if I got anything else here, guys. I had some. I thought I had another. Let's see here. All right. I'm fresh out. I thought I had one more article here, guys. But I don't. I'm fresh out. Let's see what we have for a notification here. It's just Inner City Press. So the latest, they received a note. Yep. Let's see if there's anything else on Twitter. I'm going to have to search this. Trump trial. Let's search Trump trial. All right, guys. Well, let's look at the chat, guys. Looks like I'm not going to get lucky today. I thought maybe I'll be streaming. How long have I been streaming for? Hour and 37 minutes. It's not bad. Thought maybe if I extended out, that would have taken me like 5 minutes to read if I just read it. Well, let's see what you guys are saying. We got so many people in the chat. Jeremy Brummer and Michelle, my two favorite people, modding the chat. Thank you, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, guys. Like the stream. Or you don't even have to smash it. Just tap it lightly. Brush it lightly, okay? Do it with your nose like Joe Biden. Sniff it. Maybe. Be Joe Biden, okay? Michelle says, Andrew, that's what President Trump is trying to show everyone. Exactly, yes. Jeremy Brummer with a good point. Yeah, any guilty verdict will be overturned by the appellate court. Yeah, this is not something... Hold on a second. Oh, this is just something from Inner City Press. This is not something that anyone thinks will stick, even if he is found guilty. This is something that the Democrats at least want so they can slap it all over headlines, which they haven't even learned their lesson. Like, you do this to Trump, the reverse of what you want to happen happens. Like, they indict Trump, bring him to trial, they prevent him from campaigning. And all of this, they're doing all of this expecting his numbers to go down because everyone's like, oh, Trump is indicted. Oh no, 34 felony counts. Oh no, Stormy Daniels. And it has the opposite effect. So you would think that they would just call out their attack dogs like, hey, this tactic is not working. But no, they don't. I'm not worried about the verdict for Trump per se. I'm worried about our justice system. Trump is going to be fine. Okay? Trump is going to be great. Trump, there's nothing's going to happen to Trump. I'm sorry. Even if he gets into jail, like he's good. I'm worried about what the heck is going on in our justice system because this is crazy. But of course, they want to use all of this for headlines. Who else we got? I'm going to scroll up a little bit. We'll hang out with you guys for a sec. maybe I'll bring on right here. I'll put the live feed. That was 30 minutes ago. Prosecutors entering the courtroom. Trump enters the courtroom. Hold on. Where is the, is there anything new? Okay. Here we go. So the note from jurors contained 4 requests from Judge Mercan. He says, according to the judge, the jury wants David Pecker testimony regarding a phone conversation with Donald Trump while Pecker was in the investor meeting. And also Pecker's testimony about the decision not to finalize and fund the assignment of Karen McDougal's life rights. Pecker's testimony about the decision not to finalize and fund the assignment of Karen McDougal's life rights. Pecker's testimony regarding a Trump Tower meeting, and Michael Cohen's testimony regarding the Trump Tower meeting. So they're trying to figure out, like, is there anything there? So at least they're deliberating, right? They're deliberating. So that's what we got from the jurors who requested the notes. Oh, hey, we got my sister in the chat, guys. This is my sister here, Valerie. She says, thanks for keeping us informed on Woke Thoughts. Hey, you're welcome, Valerie. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great time at work. Michelle says, I wonder if George is still on with Lou. I don't know. I didn't even know Lou was live. Is he live right now? Yeah, I was watching Benny's stream earlier as well. He was hoping to get a verdict. Yeah. He was hoping to get a verdict, and that's what I'm hoping to. Guys, I'm stalling right now. And guys, the more chats you send, the more I can talk with you guys. Because this wasn't just like, I had a lot of stuff lined up. I had an hour and a half of content lined up, but at a certain point, it starts to all dry out. And that's the point I'm at right now. I'm having to resort to CNN live updates. But Manola said, I just clicked on it while nearly getting a heart attack. Yeah. Guys, I did add a little bit of clickbait to my title. It was different. And then I heard that the jurors wanted to talk to the judge. And I thought, hey, maybe there's there's something from the jury. Maybe they got a verdict. No, they don't. But you guys are always in here for endless entertainment. Emily says, this is such BS, but God does everything for a reason. And I truly believe that all of these corrupt or evil corrupt people will get their karma. Yeah. This is not going to last forever, of course. The pendulum always swings back. It's just a matter of when and how much damage is done while the pendulum is over on the other side. Crash Core Entertainment says, started with Firebrand, and your great work has won me over. FYI to page Inner City Press has posted on X that the note information. Okay. Yeah, we just read that, but I read it on CNN. Unfortunately, I gave them a shout out. Let's see. Do we have anything new? That's 19 minutes ago. 25 minutes ago. Jury has been deliberating for 4 hours and 13 minutes. Approximately, okay? What else do we got? Okay, we have Jeremy Brummer says the only purpose for these fake indictments and show trial cases was to sway as many voters as they could from voting for Trump come November the 5th. Yeah. And look where it's gotten them. Like, I mean, seriously, you got to laugh every time they do these types of things because they've been stepping on their own foot for years, ever since they tried to kick Donald Trump off of Twitter. Then he started his own social media company, True Social, which went public and increased his net worth by billions of dollars. Like, that should have been a sign, like, right there, like, maybe I shouldn't keep attacking this guy. Like, he, like, absorbs the negative energy and just uses it to his own benefit. It's like Donald Trump. Have you guys seen the before and after pictures of presidents when they go into office versus when they come out of office? Donald Trump, he looked younger. You see George W. Bush, like he looks like barely recognizable anymore. It's like, man, that really must have taken a toll on him. But Donald Trump, it's like he came out of office and he looked younger than when he went into office. It's like, what is up with that? I guess, you know, the evilness of DC and the people, the company that you keep while you're there, it just takes a toll on you if you're susceptible to it. And Donald Trump is not susceptible to it, at least as much as other people. Crash said, Firebrand, not Fried Man. I understood what you said there, Crash. Thanks for clarification. Thank you. Dirt says, love Robert. Yes, Robert, he's the man. He has a great commentary. He's actually one of the ones that kind of inspired me to start reading the transcripts. He's great. Lawyers love it when the judge is in their pocket. Yeah, of course they do. That's basically, you know, it's tipping the scales. Why wouldn't you want to tip the scales in your favor if you could? Jeff says, thank you for a great broadcast. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my broadcast. Jeremy says, in other words, please help us frame Donald Trump and convict him. Where else are we? And we're getting down. Pam or Sheila. Rebecca says DOJ needs to be in jail. Yeah, there's some members of the DOJ that I would like to see locked up. Absolutely. I think what they're doing to the justice system is absolutely, it's reprehensible. It really is. Like, I used to want to go to law school. I almost went to law school. When I went to University of Texas at Austin, I studied political science, and I kind of wanted to go to law school for a while, but I decided not to. But I had a respect for the justice system. I thought, politics are politics. Mud is slung in the media. But when you get to the justice system, that's when, everything is supposed to be strict, like no bias, no political influence. And I know the justice system has never been not susceptible to political influence, but I think we're just seeing it on a very massive scale right now and just in our faces more than ever before. Used to, when there was I feel like when there was a magnifying glass put to this kind of stuff, the judge would have to kind of back off, like, oh, they're onto me. Not anymore. No, the judge doesn't care because it's literally the president of the United States doing it. So he has free reign. Used to, they'd, be like cockroaches. They'd all go scurrying around and hide in corners. Nope, not anymore. These cockroaches have gotten bold. Sheila says Texas needs all the homeless in New York. What? Okay. Trump, Gandhi, and Mandela, all great men. Yeah. And that's the thing that Donald Trump said. If he got arrested, he would be like Mandela. Okay. Apparently Lou is live. Let me go see here, guys. I'm gonna leave the chat up here because, guys, we're just hanging out right now. Or I guess this has become a verdict watch party, I guess. Let's see. Is Lou Valentino, is he live right now? Oh, nope, Lou is not live. Okay, I was gonna go to his channel and watch something. Let's see who else is live right now. Is anyone I know live right now? Let's go to live. RSBN.
Other than that, I think they're wonderful.
So they have
Joe Biden's insane.
They just have replays of trials or of rallies. That's what RSBN has. And sorry, I love Trump's rallies, but I just can't. I can't do that. Okay, what else do we got here, guys? From you guys, Donald Trump looks younger every day. That's correct. Guys, we gotta get up to what, 1,000 likes. Where are we at right now with likes? Let me look at my phone here. We are at 613. Come on, guys. Let's get up the likes. Let's see the live. Nobody I know right now is live. Except for me. That's me right there. It's like Streamception. All right, what else are you guys saying over here? Yes, Robert G. He is a defense attorney, so he knows what he's talking about. And yes, he is from Scottsdale. The jury has no idea. This is from Epic 103. What they are doing because the jury instruction was so ridiculous. Facts. Angie Spitzeri says Lou is live on his new channel. Wait, what? Lou has a new channel? What is his new channel, Angie? Oh, that. Wait a second. That was. I saw them. Bridge the Gap?
Just that it might go down tonight. That, like, the decision from the jury, or would you be surprised if they say we're going to call a, we're just going to. What do they have to do? They have to call a dismissal for the day, and they go back to their lives.
I didn't know he had another channel.
Usually it's 5 p.m. That's when courthouses close. So at like 4:55,
hold on a second.
The judge is going to call the jury back in and say, "Hey, looks like you guys need more time." It's Judge Mercan, so he'll probably say, "You guys need more time to find Trump guilty." And he'll say something subliminal like that, and then the jury's going to go home. They're going to be instructed not to tell anyone about the case or look up the internet about the case. Then they're going to come back the next morning.
All right.
Going to come back. Everyone's going to come back because at any moment they could decision. So
yeah,
I would be surprised if they come back. Yeah, they are alive right now, awaiting jury decision.
Has him alive outside.
Yeah, I guess they are alive. I mean, we are going on
Don Jr.
4 hours and 22 seconds. 4 hours and 22 minutes.
Yeah, they got the.
So do I just grift?
Trump outside. He just happens to be a
grifting off of their stream right now. I want to extend this as long as possible.
Almost 4 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, we're moving forward, man. I mean, let's at least wait for the conclusion of the testimony they want played.
Yeah, that's a big thing right here. Lou is demonetized.
3 hours.
And he applied for monetization again.
What time is it? It's already.
And they're not allowing him to be monetized.
Yeah, it's already 4.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, I'm not gonna be here.
Let's look back in the chat. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, guys.
Tomorrow we'll get it, but
share this stream.
Today too. I wouldn't be surprised if any of this anymore.
So we have an hour and 10 minutes. So it's.
Andrew says he's streaming us.
Hey,
Thoughts is in the building, guys. He's watching our stream.
Wait, Andrew, you're live. What are you doing watching our stream?
Yo, dude, I just did an hour and a half of content.
We watch.
Yeah.
Our stream. Let's try that real quick.
Let's do it.
Oh, this is gonna. We got Streamception right here.
Lou, I'm a guest, man.
Yo, we're gonna have. We got Streamception, boys and girls.
Let's watch him watch us. Watch him watch us.
I mean, guys, we got to do
I
this.
wouldn't be surprised if any of this anymore.
So we have an hour and 10 minents.
At some point, you run out of content, and this is what happens.
We're literally just watching each other right now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Oh man. So there we go, guys. We got Streamception.
Wait, Andrew,
What
that
did you guys
title.
felt when you were covering the Fannie Willis stuff, right?
Yeah. Hey, Andrew, that title was crazy. You're saying Andrew said I was clickbaiting. Hey, you just said the jury verdict is out.
Okay, guys. We gotta click off it here. We gotta click. I was caught with the clickbait. I thought I could get ahead of the curb. I thought I could get ahead of the curb and get the jury verdict on the title, but no. The jury didn't come back with a verdict. Come on. So yeah, everyone's waiting with bated breath, guys. 4 hours and 24 minutes in. Jury deliberating. And I'm hanging out with 431 of you. Hey guys, if you are watching, just throw some in the chat. I mean, I got the chat right up here where I like to read from you guys. and you guys don't even have to pay me. You know, some people, they only read super chats. Not me. You don't even have to pay. If you want to, though, you can, because I've been saving up for a Big Mac in Biden's inflated economy. So if you want to throw, a couple bucks to a poor streamer panhandling on YouTube, I mean, that's up to you. Jeremy Brummer says, tell them to add you. Maybe later. I don't know. I don't know how it would look if I'm streaming on my channel while I'm a guest on their. I don't know how that would work. Would that even work? It would be weird. Teresa says it's 3:51 p.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, so guys, we might as well stream till 4:00. So, or 4:30 their time. So right now it's almost 3:00 our time. So we stream for 30 more minutes. That's fine. That's great. That's how long the jury's going to go today. So we'll stream for about a half an hour, and we'll call it a day. But just reading you guys in your chat. Emily says WTF. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a I watch him watch me, like Inception, Streamception situation. Lou Valentino. Lou Valentino, by the way, has been everywhere. I mean, he's literally everywhere. Fox News. He was on Fox News, 3 or 4 times last week? Benny Johnson. He was on Benny Johnson. I mean, come on, this guy is like crazy. Like YouTube. Remonetize this guy. Great content. Really funny guy. Great personality. Kate US says, hi all. Hi, Kate. How are you? Is that how you say your name? CATE. Emily Holloway says, they're watching you watch them, and I got both channels on 2 devices. Wow. You're watching us. You're watching me watch them watch me. Come on, that's too funny. Rebecca Hoover says, I am really worried, but I'm praying for the best of Trump. Yes, I am too. Trump is going to be fine. I'm worried for our justice system. It's pretty crazy. Anna says, I'm very nervous. I'm emotional. I'm very emotional right now. It's going to be all right, Anna. Everything's going to be okay. We need to dig up what the jury asked for. Well, Teresa, so this is what the jury asked for. Let's see if I can find it again. The CNN website page is not very friendly. Okay. So, Teresa, this is for you. The note contains 4 requests. They asked for David Pecker's testimony regarding a phone conversation with Donald Trump while Pecker was in the investor meeting. Pecker's testimony about the decision not to finalize and fund the assignment of Kerry McDougal's life rights. Pecker's testimony regarding a Trump Tower meeting, and Michael Cohen's testimony regarding the Trump Tower meeting. So that's what the jury apparently asked for, and this is being reported by multiple people. The judge's daughter needs to be in jail also. The judge's daughter can do what she wants to do. I just don't think it's appropriate for the judge to have a daughter who is so interested in the outcome of this case, or so interested in using this case to make money. I think that is a direct conflict of interest. I really do. Okay, so we have... Okay, wait a second, guys. We got an update. We got another one. Another note that is coming from Adam Klasfeld. So this is the jury. The jury asked right here. Let's see. Let's go back to this. This is what the jury asked right here. So I guess this is the latest that we have. We, the jury, request to rehear the jury's instructions. So that's the latest that we have. So they're asking to hear the jury instructions again. So we'll see if there's any updates. All right. Back to you guys. What do you guys think? If you're watching the stream, drop a chat. Okay, guys? I'm reading chats. I'm reading free chats right now. Everyone gets a chat. William says the more questions the jury has, it only benefits Trump. Yeah, it's true. I feel like the jury is probably very confused about a lot of what the heck's going on here. Change the title to verdict expected. That's a good idea. Should I do that? Hold on a second. Good idea, Jeremy Brummer. Gotta pull up another window. Hold on a second. All right, guys. I'm taking off the clickbait off of my title because I feel bad. That's actually a good title. Jury verdict expected. It's just enough clickbait to where people might. Verdict expected. Okay. Verdict has 1 C. Okay, guys. Verdict expected. Jury deliberates after skewed instructions. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. All you guys that went after me for clickbait, I took off the clickbait. This is how our government is supposed to run. The government is supposed to respond to the people. So I practice what I preach, okay, guys? This is a representative democracy. I'm letting you guys pick the title of my stream, okay? I'm not a dictator. Okay, thanks, Jeremy, for that suggestion. I changed it. All right, Anna Barone said, "What do you make of the note?" Which one? The first one or the one that came in earlier? Let's see. Let's go back to the first note. If I can find it. I don't know, I think they just want some clarification because the prosecution's final closing arguments were so long and convoluted. There's no way they can remember all of that. So they're probably just having conversations in the jury room. And they got on a certain topic. And they've got to remember, hey, what happened here? What did Michael Cohen say in his testimony? What is this piece of evidence? Let me see if I can find what they asked for again. Let's see. What is up with CNN? It's like I can find it and then it's gone. I had it up here just a second ago. I always think like if I scroll slower, I can find it. Okay, so this is the one about the jury instructions. They must have taken the other one down because I can't find it now. But we have a new update. Judge says alternate jurors will be brought in if and when there is a verdict. Judge Mercan says if and when a time comes for a verdict, he will bring the alternate jurors in and have them sit in the front row. I wonder what that's for. All right. Wait, let's get back to the countdown. That was a nice little. There it is. Okay. Total implosion live on air. Okay. Yeah. So Anna, that's what I think. I think there's just a lot of moving parts in this case, especially from the prosecution. I mean, the defense, their closing arguments were pretty simple. Todd Blanche broke it down into 10 points of why there is just an incredible amount of reasonable doubt in this case. But the prosecution, they didn't make it that simple. It was 6 hours long of rambling. And apparently Steinglass was yelling like a madman too. Mark Nielsen says, pirates are not known to be men of their word. True. Wesley says, we the people, let's go Brandon. God bless America and God bless Israel. Trump 2024. No matter what, pro-God, life, guns, family, and coffee. Amen. God bless America, brother. God bless America. I'm America first. Above any other country, even Israel. Teresa, thank you for your $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. Michelle says, so you like eating recycled people on Woke Thought. What? Recycled people? What do you mean? Wait a second. Do we have another? we might have another update. Or is this this is Inner City Press catching up. Inner City Press says, Judge Mercan says, when we let the jurors go tonight, let's get our hands on the laptop and disable the Wi-Fi. How many pages are I looking at for the readbacks? 30. Trump is at the defendant table, so Trump is there. He's speaking with Blanche and Beauvais. Nichols alone at the end of the table. So these are the updates so far. And apparently we have an update from CNN too. Let's see what they have. All right, jurors are back in the courtroom. I'll bring the chat too. Hey, Paulo Repetto from Annalise, Indy, and Monroe. Hey, guys, I got my whole family in the chat right now. I got Paulo, my brother-in-law. Come on now. Thanks, Paulo. Appreciate it. Oh, McDonald's is recycled people food. Yeah, okay. Michelle, you're right. I didn't think of that. I was making a joke. I'm not going to buy McDonald's. Don't worry. Not a big fan of McDonald's. I saw an article the other day of how much McDonald's and fast food prices inflated because of the Biden economy. Some of it went up like 100, 200%. I'm making a joke that if I make, like $175 in super chat, I could finally buy McDonald's. But okay, this is the latest update we have. Jurors are back in the courtroom. Judge Mercan is reading the notes into the record in their presence. After reading both notes from the jury, I need to get a drink, guys. Diet Coke, the drink of kings. Judge Mercan asked the foreperson to confirm he had read them right. The foreperson said, yes, you did. Attorney Todd Blanche was leaning over and whispering to Donald Trump and attorney Emile Beauvais while they waited. So this is what Inner City Press said. So this is live from inside the court. We have a note from 3:51 p.m. Let me bring this up into where you guys can kind of see it. We have a note from 3:51 p.m. They say they want the instructions reread to them. I suggest we bring them in, tell them we're working on the testimony, and ask for clarification about the instruction request. Does the laptop have Wi-Fi? Judge Mercan says when we let the jurors go tonight, let's get our hands on the laptop, disable the Wi-Fi. Then he asks a question. How many pages are we looking at for the readbacks? 30? What do we got, 30 pages for the readbacks? Trump is at the defendant table, speaking with both Blanche and Beauvais. Nichols, poor Susan Nichols, is all alone at the end of the table. Poor Susan. Jury enters. Mercan says the first note requests David Pecker's testimony on the phone conversation with Donald Trump in New Jersey meeting and on not to fund McDougal's life rights. Pecker's about the Trump Tower meeting, and Michael Cohen about the Trump Tower meeting. So this is Inner City Press catching up. Okay. To tell me how much of my instructions you want read back, you could go back into the jury room and send out a note. You would not have to be brought back in before you leave for the night. Don't talk to anyone about the case or post about it. So I guess he's saying that they can go. They don't have to go back into the courtroom before they leave. We got another super chat. D. James says, we the people will always be number one. We'll always be first. Amen. America first. That should be everyone in the United States should be America first. All right. See if we got any live updates from CNN. 4 hours and 37 minutes. They have deliberated. So this might be good news. This seems like it could be good news because I had the inclination like, hey, if the jury came back quickly with the verdict, that was bad. because there's a lot of people who believe that there's going to be a hung jury in this case. I'm one of the ones that believe it's highly possible that there is a hung jury. I don't think he's going to be acquitted. I think his only option of not being convicted is a hung jury. But Elmer Wood says, Trump 2024, the jury instructions, this is from Call Me Troy. He says, the jury instructions almost guarantee that the judge will get his way. Yeah, that's how it was intended to be that way. It was intended to be that way. Crazy. And Anna says, the judge just dismissed the jury until tomorrow. Is that true? Do we have confirmation on that? Hold on. Let's see. The jury is now leaving the courtroom. Yes, you got it first. Yeah, the jury is now leaving the courtroom. Jurors are now leaving the courtroom after Judge Juan Mercan dismissed them for the day. Mercan tells attorneys they can't leave the courtroom until they agree on the transcript that will be read back tomorrow. So, guys, we're not done yet. We're not done yet because the jury leaves, but the attorneys are staying there. So we're going to get some updates. We will get an update from Intercity Press. Very soon. Okay. Let's go back to you guys. While we're waiting for any Intercity Press to update this, let's go back to you. If there is a guilty verdict, then this is off to the appellate courts where it will be reversed. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Valerie says 700 likes. 700 likes, Valerie. Come on. We did it, Mom. We did it, sis. Okay. She said, let's get more. Go like. Yeah, guys. Smash that like button. My voice is getting hoarse. Come on. I'm screaming. I'm in my apartment screaming. James says, Jim from London. MAGA. Yeah. Rebecca says, not trying to be a downer, but I think it is going to be on appeal. You know, I think a lot of us, we are hoping for the best and expecting the worst. I really think that's what a lot of us are doing right now. Hope for the best, expect the worst. So I'm expecting, you know, I would not be surprised at all if there was a guilty verdict. But I think there is a slim possibility. There's a decent, not even a slim possibility. I think there's a decent possibility that he will be found not guilty. Well, maybe not guilty, but that there might be a hung jury. And there's also a possibility that the whole jury sees that this is a sham trial. Maybe. Rags to itches. Rags to itches? Ooh. That sounds rough. Jury is looking at a Chinese menu where they pick from column 1, 2, or 3. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right, let me go to notifications here. Let me go. Okay, I got to be careful when I show just the my timeline of X on YouTube, because sometimes there's some content that's not good. Let me see. Let me just search it up. I'll search it up, Trump trial, and see if there's any new news going on. Let's go to latest. Anything interesting happening today or right now? We have some people waiting outside for the verdict, and that didn't happen today. Yeah, you guys notice? Look at Todd Blanche. Look at his face. This guy is literally, he never looks happy. He's just ticked all the time. Why? Is that like, have you guys heard of resting bee face? Is that just his normal face, or is he making that face? That's what I want to know. Is Todd Blanche, is that Todd Blanche's normal face, or is he making that face? Because every time Donald Trump comes out and does a press conference, he looks like this. Which I don't blame him if he has to be the defense for a corrupt judge. And this is going to go on. If he loses, it's going to go on his record as a loss for his law firm, even though it was completely rigged against him. So I think that's funny. All right. Michael Bradford said, I don't know what that means. Red Ruby said Trump will be triumphant. Let's go. Jeremy Brummer says, I'm betting at least 5 not guilty decisions. Okay. Rebecca, Jeremy Brummer says Judge Juan Mercan. I butchered it, guys. I thought I was going to be so smooth with that mumbo jumbo, but I butchered it. Let me try again. Jeremy Brummer says Judge Juan the Con Merchan didn't like how the verdict was playing out. Exactly. It's pretty incredible what the Con Merchan is doing. He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care. He is doing everything he can to skew the results of what the jury sees, hears, and decides. William Master says, I'm going to predict the jury will ask the judge to stay another hour so they can vote. I believe the jury has been officially dismissed. Pamela says, if they find him guilty, my question is, will he be able to campaign or be sent to jail? That's actually a fantastic question, Pamela. I was wondering that myself. So what happens? If he's found guilty, the judge sentences him to jail or prison. Do the Democrats just want this for a headline? Do they want this to prevent Donald Trump from campaigning? Or do they, and I thought of a third option, do they want this as an embarrassment thing for Donald Trump where Joe Biden could come out and say, hey, you know, my political opponent has been sent to jail. I'm going to commute his sentence. I thought about that. That I feel would be the worst. For Biden to pretend like he cares and to commute Donald Trump's sentence. So then optically it looks like Biden is the one who's like saving our quote unquote democracy. I thought of that possibility too. And I was like, that is the worst possibility. And why am I saying this on the stream? Now they know. Now all the Democrat strategists, they know. Okay. I'm just kidding if you're a Democrat strategist. Okay. So that's the question. We don't know. Michelle said I smashed it on 2 phones. Michelle, remember guys, Michelle, if you don't smash the like button or at least tap it or brush it, she will find you and she will smash it for you. Rocky Girl 615 says Trump and team just left the courtroom. Yeah, guys, looks like we're wrapping up. We'll read some more of your chats, and then we will also wrap it up. Rags to Witches because I have not won the lottery as of yet. Yeah. Okay. See if we can get caught up. Baraim Broham says, I have the stupid new YouTube format and can't find the like button. Well, come on, man. It's right there. It's right under my name right there. Unwoke Thoughts, like button right there. And while you're at it, click that bell button, click notification. If you guys do that, that'll be incredible. Click the notifications because I get to see how many of my subscribers have notifications on. And it's only like 10%. But that doesn't turn on by default. So that's actually a pretty good number. We have Provoked Thoughts in the house. My man, Provoked Thoughts. Good to see you, my brother. Thanks for joining. And thanks for the super chat, $5. Provoked Thought says the jury is not sequestered in a trial of this magnitude is designed for bias. The jury not sequestered. Okay, I think he meant to say the jury not sequestered in a trial of this magnitude is designed for bias in New York. Exactly, yeah. No cameras, jury can go home and watch the news. Well, yes. So that's what a lot of people were saying when Robert De Niro came out and did a press conference in front of the courthouse. It's like jury tampering. Jury tampering. Like, you think the jury is going to come out and not see that? You think you're a jury member and you don't, sneak a little peek at the news? No. They know. That's why Biden sent those De Niro and his J6 cronies out there to do the press conference, even though they're like, oh, we just happened to walk by and we saw the press conference microphones. We decided to say something to you guys. Yeah, no. Yeah, right, Biden. He thinks everyone's retarded. Valerie says, no verdict reached. Yes, that's correct. Rosemary, watch you all the time. Have adopted you as my son. Hello from South Carolina. Well, hi, Mom. Hi. I already have a mom, though. She might be jealous. Rebecca says the judge is a kin, not a Karen, but a kin, LOL. Jeremy says, probably pissed because they are making a mockery of the law. They really are. It's, we gotta stay optimistic, but that's what they're doing. Big old Dave said, just showed up from Lou and George. Nice to see you here. All right, guys, where are we at? All right, we'll read just a few more chats. Let me just make sure nothing crazy happened while we've been waiting. Well, wait, what is this? Okay, so this is all old news. See what we have from Intercity Press. This is all old news. Let me just make sure there's nothing new here. Oh yeah, this is the last year. Okay. Tomorrow you can decide to work late, not beyond 6 p.m. Jurors leave. On the first note, do not leave the courtroom until you have agreed on the readback. Thank you. So that's the last we have. Provoke Thoughts says, come check me out live tonight at 9 o'clock. Yeah, guys. He has a fantastic channel over there. Go check out Provoke Thoughts. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me tonight or today. It's not tonight yet, is it? This afternoon. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out this afternoon. I appreciate you all. And hopefully, God willing, the jury comes back. Maybe says Donald Trump, not guilty. We don't know. Maybe we got a hung jury. We don't know. But we're going to be following it all right here on Unwoke Thoughts. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, share this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it today, and I'll see you all on the next one.